All right, this video is going to be going over more about like conditional logic, if statements. And so I'm hoping just to give you an idea of what they are and how they work in Java. Um, and so this video is just to help you try to understand that, like what are they and how to use them. And I think this is a pretty good image. It's just like a split or a branch in the code. All right, so trying to make some sense of it. Like normally when you have a Java programmer, especially up to this point, all our code has just run one line after another, right? They just run one step after another. Each line executes one after the other in order, top down. So here would be an example from chapter 1 where it's just a bunch of print statements printing an American flag, just prints them, goes one after another in order. Okay, so for what is a conditional statement, it is an if-then statement. That's more like a definition from regular everyday life, non-coding world. All right, and so in coding, it controls the flow, changes, I guess, the flow of the program. Right, so instead of executing one line after another, it's going to say, hey, if something is true, we do one thing, otherwise we do something else. All right, and so I guess just to help us understand it, in real life, you might say if you study, then you do well on the test. If you like black jelly beans, then you are crazy. If you cheer for the Vikings, then you'll be happy. Whatever it is, you can think of a lot of different ones. You might want to pause and try and come up with your own if-then statements here. Okay, so what they're going to be then in coding is going to be a little bit different, but they're mostly going to change the flow of the program. So I'm going to do an example here. All right, and I'm going to say that we want to, like as a teacher, I want to scold kids if they did poorly on the test because I'm really mean and I want to hurt their feelings. I feel like that's a good way to teach, is just belittle kids that don't do well. Actually not true, but anyways, we're going to write a program. And so basically, we're gonna have their test score, right? And certainly we could get this from Scanner, right? We could actually do the Scanner, and this would be a more realistic program. But to keep it really simple for the first one, I'm not going to use Scanner, at least not initially. All right, and so I'm going to do an if. So I type if, and then curly brace, and then parenthesis, and then I make an open and close curly brace, and so I say based on some condition in here, right, being true, and if that is true, then I'm going to run the lines of code that are between these two little braces. So for me, I want to do if they failed the test. So I'm going to do something like if the test score is less than, let's say 67, let's just say that means they failed, right? Then I'm going to do system out print. Right, so I'm going to say some statement like, you must have less potential as a teacher. Okay, and this line of code is only going to run if this condition is true. So if you run the program right now, nothing will actually happen because test score 88 is not less than 67, right? So nothing actually happens, right? Maybe I'll put a print here at the end just so we can see. Okay, so this line at the bottom is going to run because it's not part of the if, right? It's just inside of the main, so it's going to run no matter what. So if I hit go, now it'll just run, say we got to the end of the program. Okay, so that's a basic if, and if you want to see, so let's say we had little Johnny here take this test or something and he did not do good, then now it'll say, now because 60 is less than 67, now it'll actually print this statement. Okay, so to build a little more complexity, so this is basic, like if you score below this, then we're going to say that. But you can also have an else part. Okay, so please note you don't have to have an else, right? This is just an example of we only want to run this line of code if something is true, right? We only want to make this comment, this snide remark, if they actually failed the test. All right, but you can add what's called an else. So I'm going to type else, and then another set of open and close parentheses or curly braces. All right, and that's going to say, okay, now if it's not true, what do we want to do? So I'm going to do a this out print and say you must have a good teacher. Okay, because what is happening here is the test failed. So it's sort of like if it is true, we're going to do this. Otherwise, we're going to do this other thing if it's not true. Okay, so if we run it right now, right, it's still going to say you have West Pedal as a teacher because it's actually failing. Sorry, it's passing the test, right? The 60 is less than 67, so it's going to run the if part. Okay, and if we make it so that 80 is not less than 67, then it'll run the else part, because this now is a false statement. Okay, and so I think in the other video mentioned you can do all the different symbols here, like you can do greater than. If you want to do if they're equal, you do equal equal like that. You can do less than or equal to. You can do not equal to. I think they mentioned all of those, right? So for us, I think what's going to make sense here is to do less than 67. Just a couple of visualizations to help you understand this, that this is what we we're just talking about. And if we'll have a condition, and if that condition is true, it'll run the statements between those two curly braces. Okay, and if it's false and you have an else part, then it'll go down here and run these statements. Okay, so it breaks up our sequential execution, right? So we might have like a print statement up here that'll run, another print or something, right? So we might have some statements that are already running up here, and then we'll hit the if, and then one of these two things will happen, right? The way this is set up, either the if part will run or the else part will run, depending on if the condition is met. And then more stuff could happen down here. So after the if is done, then if we have some more commands outside the if and the else, right, then it'll just start continuing to run the commands down there. So I thought this was a pretty good visualization of the flow, right? The program's going to flow down here, and then it's going to make a decision about what happens here, and then it's going to keep executing statements after we get out of our curly braces for the if and the else. Here's one more visualization for it. Sorry, I couldn't fit it all in here. Maybe I'll make it a little smaller so it'll actually fit. Right, so you basically have some commands, then you hit a conditional that'll send us down one of two paths, and then you'll return to the sequential execution. All right, and please know that you can actually have more than just two branches. So far, the examples I've given have had just two, but you could actually have a third branch down here before returning. You could add a fourth one. You can add basically as many as you want, and I'll show you how to do that here in 1 second. Right, but that's the basic idea of an if, is that it's a branch, and then you do something different depending on some sort of condition, and then you return back. So an if statement, again, is what's called like a control structure. And so they're going to change how the program flows, right? So you're not actually executing any lines of code or whatever, you're just changing which lines get executed, okay? And that's called a control structure. So again, you're not going to use semicolons here, you're just going to use like an open and close curly brace, like is seen right here, right? There's no semicolon right here, you just do an open and close curly brace. And just I want to show this real quick. Here's all the different operations. Here's what you're familiar with in math, but then in Java they're just a little bit different. So there's no button like this on the keyboard for greater than or equal to, so they just use greater than or equal to like that. So if you want to jot any of these down, this might not be bad to have. Hopefully you can just remember them, but if you want to pause it here, you might want to jot down some of those. I want to now do a couple activities to help us understand a little bit, make sure we're okay. So I have some code here, and I want to know what would make sense to fill in, right? So, there's not one right answer here, but what might be some like appropriate print statements we would put here. So I'm going to please enter your age. It's going to scan it, and then you got to figure out what do you think would come down here. Just take a guess. This is an open-ended question. So as an example, maybe, this is an election year, so perhaps we would say, like, if they're over greater than or equal to 18, then they're old enough to vote, so we could ask them who they're going to vote for. The right answer to that, by the way, is Matthew Fossum is the right person to vote for. And then if they're not, right, so if this fails, that means they must be less than 18 years old. Then we could say, too bad you cannot vote, maybe come back next year or something like that. All right, final thing I want to do on this video then is just talk about how you can build multiple paths. So right now, the way this is set up is either one of these paths will run, right? They'll either do this thing if they didn't do well, or will do something if they did do well. Okay, but there's other variations. So one possibility we already talked about is you could take this else off, and then this will just possibly run this yes or no, right? So there's only kind of one path, and it might not even go down that path, right? It might just skip over these whole lines and then go right down and do the lines down here, all right? So because you don't have to have an else. Okay, and then the other thing is if you want to do like multiple buckets, so let's say we wanted to start to print a grade, so we could do something like if their test score is greater than or equal to 90, then we could say A, if they got an A. All right, and so then you could do another bucket that says else if test score, and I'm just gonna make it really simple, greater than or equal to 80, and we're gonna say that that would be a B. Okay, and so we can start to build a whole bunch of different paths. All right, so maybe I'm gonna add one more here quick. All right, and so each time you want to add a path, I'm going to add an else if, and then say maybe above it's 70, and then we're going to say C, and then anything else we're going to say, maybe just say study harder next. Okay, so now what we have, the way this is set up is because there's an else, it has to fall into one of these four paths. We can either be an A, a B, a C, or if none of those happen, that's what the else does. The else catches everything else and sends any other conditions down here to this one. Okay, and these do go in order, all right, because like if you think of the test score, let's say we were 95, right? Then it's true that the test score is greater than 90, and it's greater than 80, and it's greater than 70. So all of these would technically be correct, but it'll only go down one of the four paths. All right, so once it says 95 is greater than or equal to 90, it's going to go down this path, and then it's going to stop checking. It's not going to check this else if, and it's definitely not going to do that else. Right, so it can really only fall in one of these four paths. It can't fall in like two of them. All right, and the way this is set up with the else, it has to fall into one. All right, versus if you take the else off, then it doesn't have to fall into something. Like in this case, it could fall into none of those, and then it would just skip over all the lines. Okay, so right now it's doing A. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple quick tests here to see if that made any sense at all. So I'm going to say let's make the test score 70, and what would happen if we hit run on 70. Pause the video and take your best guess. Okay, so I think it should print out C because it would fail this. 70 is not greater than or equal to 90. It would fail this one, but it would pass this test, so it would print out a C. And obviously program end, I guess that's at the very bottom still. Okay, let's do another one. Let's try 71 once. Pause the video, take a guess. I think that should be C still. All right, and let's try something really ridiculous. Let's say we just dominated a test. What do you think would be there? Okay, so that should pass the first test, even though it's way bigger than 90. We can get an A. All right, and then let's try one more. Let's try negative 55. Let's say, Nick was taking the test and did really bad or something. Negative 55. Okay, and so this one should be study harder next time because it's going to fail all of these. Negative 55 is not greater than any of those, so it'll fall down into our else bucket and return that. All right, that is all. Thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions.